Let's go back to our top story now here on Ground Report on ANN7. It's been a busy morning outside the head offices of the Hawks in Pretoria, as we've seen Ivan Piller and Johan van Lochrenberg presenting themselves to the Hawks as requested by them. Victor Magwedze, ANN7 reporter, now joins us live from the Hawks offices. It's been a busy morning there, Victor. We've seen the likes of George Bezos as well as Johan Krichler there. Just tell us what the latest is from the Hawks offices.
Good morning, Peter, and good morning to our viewers. Certainly we are here in Pretoria, just outside the Hawks offices, where different organizations, including Freedom Under Law, Section 27, and others are here in support of the former SARS officials who have been summoned by the Hawks. Of course, we know that Minister Gordhan was also among those who were summoned here, but we know that he has officially said he would not come here, and he said he sent his reasons, some of which are that he believes there is no reason why he should be here. There's no evidence against him, and of course his legal team has advised him not to show up here. So he is, of course, currently in Cape Town, continuing what he said is going to be, he is going to be doing his job, rather. But we are joined by Reverend Mos Ntla, who is also here supporting the cause that is against the Hawks and the stance they have, or the action they've taken against or in summoning the officials or former officials of SARS. Reverend, thank you so much. First, thank you so much for joining us. Sorry.
Thank you, and for your viewers as well.
Sure. Reverend, what is the reason you are here? I believe you are representing church associations, religious associations.
That's correct.
What is the reason you felt was very important that you come here today?
The reason is that we feel, as people of faith and as Christian leaders, that what is happening represents a major crisis in our democracy. That when one arm of state marches against another arm of state, when the Minister of Finance is forced to do what is essentially a civil disobedience action, by refusing to listen to the order of the Hawks. We see that as spelling a very ominous sign of division in government, in democracy, and I think the institutions that we look upon to consolidate, to deepen our democracy are falling apart in front of us. And so we are here to blow the whistle, to say this should not be happening. That this is a careless, dangerous move, and the last time it was attempted, it cost the country about $500 billion in value. And so all of the time when things like this happen, and as the rating agencies look to devalue us and to get us downgraded, we just can think about the poor who will suffer the most in terms of all of that. And as pastors who daily work with congregations who are among the poor, who are increasing in their numbers, we can't see why it is that government would take such a careless move, particularly without even explaining why it is doing it. And so we believe that it's an accountability issue. And so we believe that as South Africans coming together like this, people of faith, civil society and others, it's the only hope for our democracy.
And lastly, and maybe briefly, from the church's perspective or from the church's side, what are you prepared to do to make sure that your voice is heard, to make sure that this supposed witch hunt on the minister is stopped?
Well, there are two things. The first one is that simply by blowing the whistle, as people of faith, our leverage is a moral one. We point to the moral deficiencies in our system and the moral crisis that is at play, and say to South Africans, this is no time to be complacent. This is no time to do nothing about these things. And secondly, to say that in the way that we hold government accountable at every level, local as well as national, it is time to redouble our efforts.
Thank you so much, Reverend.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, Peter, that was, of course, Reverend Ntla explaining what, from the church's perspective, why they feel they're here. Of course, just another update in terms of what has been happening here this morning. We have Ivan Pillay inside from 9 o'clock. He was supposed to be coming out now at 10 o'clock now. Later on, or rather after him, Johan van Lachenberg is going to be going in there as well. Of course, after being summoned by the Hawks. So we are going to be trying to speak to them after they come out. But we know also that there are family members of both parties who are here in support of the two with other associations here, and we are going to be updating you and talking to as many people here as possible to find out what their stance is. And of course, there's one song and one strong stance, which is that this summoning and this action against the former SARS officials and the minister should be let go, and of course to let the minister do his job to make sure that he rebuilds and rescues the economy.
Victor, sorry, just for clarifications, so Ivan Pillay is in there now, is expected to be in there for an hour or so. Are they going in separately, or are they all going in together?
Well, the information we have so far is that they're going in separately, one after the other. Ivan was supposed to have gone in from 9 until 10. After that, then Johan would be going in.
Just in terms of why they're there, the reasoning given by the Hawks there, Victor, they're saying the pair are to present themselves for a warning statement. What exactly do they mean by a warning statement, and what are they expected to be there for?
Well, we aren't very clear at the moment. We haven't had a statement from the Hawks. We haven't had the opportunity to speak to the Hawks as to, in clarity and in detail, what they're expected to be doing here. But we know they've been summoned. We know that there are charges against them. But in detail, we haven't had the opportunities to speak to the Hawks as yet.
Victor, just in terms of obviously what the briefings or what the Hawk statement says, they've been there, they're there for obviously the alleged covert unit at SARS set up under the leadership of the finance minister when he was the commissioner. I mean, there's two clear-cut sides to the story, that of the finance minister and that of the Hawks. We've seen George Bezos there, Johan Krichler. They're very much on the side of the finance minister, but many people saying there's no smoke without fire. Generally, what are people saying on the street there? Should he be appearing before the Hawks just to clear his name? If he says he's innocent, why not just go there and maintain your innocence?
Sure. First of all, the statement given by the judge and Bezos earlier was that there was no evidence against the minister or the officials here, and therefore they should be let go. And we spoke to Francis Antali, who is the director at the Helen Suzman Foundation, and says he, from his perspective, says that of course, there's no smoke without fire, but it seems that this is all planned, and he implicates President Jacob Zuma after after deciding to, take hold or be in direct responsibility on government entities, and he says that because of the election results and the president deciding what he has decided, it all seems like a domino effect, and he says that there is no there's no it's clear that there was something planned to be done here by the president or by the government against the minister. So from their perspective, it's a witch hunt against the minister, and it's deterring him from doing his job. We know that there are some people who are saying that there's no one above the law, and everyone who is summoned by the Hawks or is found at fault with the law is supposed to abide by the law and come here, and that just because the rand fluctuates when the minister is summoned doesn't mean that he shouldn't be presenting himself to or abiding by the law and coming to the Hawks offices as he was summoned. But two different perspectives there. But what it comes down to is that apparently the organizations here say there is no evidence against the minister, and of course this is what the minister is also saying, that he feels or he sees no evidence against him, and that's why he is not here today.